I love you, Leos. Okay, let's see. What's the big thing that gets me with Leo first? There's so many things I want to talk about. I don't know where to go first. Really, I kid you not. And I tell you why. I've been talking about this with all the signs, but every sign has something I think that sticks out for that sign. And for me, although I've been talking about Mars and Sagittarius with every sign, it's different for Leo. And that's because Sagittarius trines Leo. And yeah, and this Mars is happening in Sagittarius. And so it's also happening in your fifth house. That's the house of love. That's the house of romance. That's the house of dating and falling in love. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I've been seeing a lot of wonderful things for a couple of signs. I need to hook y'all up. But Mars in the fifth house, now here's the thing. I'm hoping that Mars in the fifth house comes through with um, action and attention, aggression, but toward positive, uplifting, happy things. Because the fifth house is happy. What I don't want to see someone do with Mars and Sag in the fifth house is, use it to be just to cause harm or anything like that to a partner or like to a love person, like to get into some type of argument, you know, instead of loving. It's important, especially since it's trine Leo, that you Leos, because it's your house, right, Leo? The fifth house is your house. So it's almost like Mars is on you. Mars is it's all fire, it's all shining, and it's all for the uplifting of you, okay? Because it's the fifth house. So you're really going to feel this on a deeply personal level. And there may be more love relationships available to you, more people that are open to having relationships with you. You might feel more like you have more confidence, especially if you're a man. I see men having more confidence to go out and start that new relationship now, you know, and actually be romantic, not just trying to get in the pants, but trying to start a romantic relationship. And that's what the fifth house is. It's romance. And I really, because since Leo is the lover, I see some Leos getting in some pretty romances. Oh, I wish I knew a Leo right now. Anyway, so, and I think you Leos have earned it. I'm serious. There's been so much emphasis in the house of work for Leos. You guys have worked so hard. You really have. I mean, there's been the Sun and Pluto and Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury and Venus and everything. Everything's been there. It's just been so much work. And I don't know if it's been easy. Like, it almost seems like it could have been a whole bunch of, ugh, just too much, really. And I'm glad that some of it's going to begin to shift out of just work and health. Some of you guys might have been going through some health issues. This might have been coming out in health, not work, but health. I can see that. And the reason I say that is because the North Node is over in the 12th house in Cancer. And on the 10th of January, there's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse at 20 degrees of Cancer, but that's your 12th house. So, that could be your emotional health. It could be like hidden secrets, just skeletons in the closet. It could be hidden enemies, even. It just could just be your health, your emotional health, your mental health, your you know if I when I want to see if someone's going to have a nervous breakdown, literally I look to the 12th house. That's where I go first. It just tells me. And you guys are candidates, so be careful between Saturn and Pluto opposing the full moon, right? So we're dealing with health houses. 12th house is a mental health house. 6th house is a physical health house. So mental health, physical health, and your work life could affect your mental health. So if you're going through problems at work, it could affect you on an emotional, mental level. Please be aware of these things. Also, I'm thinking with the planets starting to make their trek into Aquarius over the month of January, you really might start getting some opposition from hidden enemies. Nah, they're not even going to be hidden. They're going to be out. And let's see, Mercury goes into Aquarius. I think Venus is already in Aquarius. So we got Venus in Aquarius right now. And Mercury goes in on the 16th. The sun goes into Aquarius on the 20th, and there's going to be a new moon in Aquarius on the 24th. That's a lot of seventh house or open enemies. Now, this with Mars in the fifth house could tell me that someone is going to hook up romantically around the 13th, and by the 20th, 24th, they're going to be in a partnership. Somebody's getting hooked up. I'm serious. Someone getting pregnant and someone getting hooked up, or someone getting someone pregnant and getting hooked up. There will be the hookup. Okay, we will have that. Just know that's happening. Also, with Venus and Neptune going into your eighth house of sex, and I know people hate it when I talk about it, but look, let's keep it real. It's Venus, it's Neptune, it's a house of sex. It's going down. Be careful unless you want to have children. Just saying. Also, Uranus goes direct on the 10th in your 10th house. Thank gosh. I mean, in a way, like there's only two scenarios. Okay, Uranus either has been holding your career hostage by going retrograde since August, and finally, after a long period of time and working like a dog, I must add, you might finally get ahead in your career, maybe. It just might be that Uranus has just been holding things at bay, and now they're really going to go screw up. Please be aware of this. Because when it goes direct, it's going direct. That means whatever havoc Uranus wants to wreak in the sign of Taurus, it's going to start wreaking it. Just be aware. I had to tell you guys that. Again, be cautious on the 10th with that full moon, because that is a lunar eclipse. So people are going to be a little cold when they shouldn't be. That's what, whenever I see lunar eclipse, especially in Cancer, I'm like, ooh, there's a certain coldness that shouldn't exist, because we're dealing with Cancer, we're dealing with the moon, and so be aware of that coldness. It might come out and work with all that Capricorn opposing it. Just want you guys to know that, Leo. Much love and light to you. Okay, you guys, let me get a